So with that in mind, what are some of your top priorities for the city? I know increasing, the branding and so forth. What are some of the other top priorities that you have when you initially became mayor?
Well, when I think of mayor, it's looking at programs, partnerships and progress. And so I like to make sure in terms of creating more programs and initiatives for our residents
Right.
to enjoy. We have, because of the diversity, we have to think about things about language. So language is a big challenge for many of our community members because, again, they're coming from different countries. Many of them are adults. And so just imagine coming to the United States and then having to learn English. And so those types of programs and working with our existing partners who provide services, but seeing how we can enhance those services for our community. And then progress, looking how we can do economic development,
Right.
looking at how we can address issues like affordable housing. All of those things are very critical for our residents. And branding in terms of showing and showcasing our community.
Yes, yes, and of course having people, just being new, I wasn't even aware of how large Clarkston is and the amount of people that you have and the diverse community. So if someone's looking for something new and fresh, maybe Clarkston is the place to go.
Yeah.
So how do you maintain that? When you have, different events happening within the city, how do you encourage some of those residents to stay within the city, grow there, raise their families there? What about the schooling? Is it appropriate for them?
Yeah, so what we have to do is build upon community. Community is so important. Many of our residents look to their community leaders.
Yeah.
And so having those relationships and communicating with them, and they can also help in terms of that dissemination of the information, is very critical.
Right.
And so that's why I said from a progress perspective, seeing how we can have many of the residents who come through Clarkston, because a lot of times as refugees, they have to get established. Once they get established, then they sometimes move to other areas.
Right.
But we want to make sure that they see Clarkston as their home and
To
continuously
try to encourage them
right
to stay. There.
right, and especially the younger ones who grew up in Clarkston, graduated, and come back and say, "This is still your home."
Yeah, of course. It's so nice to have them, do come back and show their families, where they came from and so forth. So I know that when you were sworn in back in 2020, you still got work to do, as you said. But when you were sworn in back in 2020, there was a lot of people there.
Yeah.
I understand it was your birthday.
Yes,
was that right?
it was. It was my birthday. I wanted to celebrate it with the community.
Yeah.
And so a new day, a new life, and a new opportunity.
New fresh start.
Right.
Yeah. No, that was nice. You had a lot of singing.
Yes.
It was beautiful. It was beautiful. So you're coming up to, you have another, how many more years in
Next
your term?
year will be, I ran in 2020 for an unexpired term.
Right.
And in 2021, I ran unopposed. And so next year will be time for me to run again.
Next year. So will you be planning on running again,
Yes,
or maybe running for a different office?
No. Clarkston's home, and I love what I'm doing for my community. And so I'm just happy being a servant leader for my residents.
Yeah, and you have a lot of supporters. You have a lot of supporters. Just by reading your bio, your whole portfolio is so diverse anyway. You have done a lot of different things, and I know that you're a breast cancer survivor.
I am. 3
Yes.
years.
Yes. So you are here to keep doing what you're doing.
Absolutely.
And I know that you have a lot of supporters, as I said. So you also have a product that you have started.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Yes. So in addition to being a mayor, and in addition to having a day job, because I'm also a regional director of philanthropy and public relations for a nonprofit, because of my breast cancer, I started Nima Skincare, which is Swahili for grace. And I named the company after my mother who passed away from COVID.
Right.
Her
Sorry
name was
about that.
Grace.
Yeah.
And that was my way to continue her memory, to have it to live, and to be that legacy for her. But it initially started because I was a breast cancer, going through breast cancer treatment and chemo, and recognizing all the harshness that the chemotherapy and other products do to your skin. And so that's what made me do Nima.
Oh, excellent. And one of the things that I like about you, I know that you're an AKA,
Yes.
AKA, so, and I see you wearing your green.
Yes, and green is my official color as mayor.
Yeah, wonderful. So whenever we see you in green, you're in the capacity of mayor.
Yes.
But one of the good things is that I know with the AKA they support. It's like your family.
Yes.
They're like a family, very
Yes.
close knit. They support.
Yes.
You've done a lot of different roles within your capacity prior to becoming mayor.
Yes.
So is mayor one of the best jobs you would think that you've had? How would you describe your?
Mayor is one of the most unique positions that I've had, and it's been one of the most fulfilling for me.
Right.
Because I'm the first Black and the first woman to be elected in my city's history. But what's more important for me is to have the children see me in this role, to see the girls who often come from countries where they're invisible, to see me in a leadership role. And so that's what makes me really thrive in this role, and thinking of others and taking, as you said, from my Alpha Kappa Alpha experience and sisterhood, always being a servant leader and understanding that community is what's important. And so my role is being that leader in the community, is bringing the community together.
Yes, wonderful, wonderful. So for Martin Luther King weekend, I know you have a special event coming up, so tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, so one of the former mayors in Pine Lake was doing a TOTS town hall. And I told her, I said, when you're out of office, I'll start doing it. So the TOTS town hall is designed for children under the age of 6 to learn more about public policy, public servant, being a public servant, learning about democracy, and also with them, also working with their parents to do that as well. So we're doing 4 of them. The first one is on Martin Luther King Day. And so we're going to have storytelling, and we're going to have a bunch of activities, books, and everything else for them. But we're also doing one in April, close to when we're doing the primary election. We're doing one in July, and then we're doing one in October when we're doing early voting for the general elections. And it's focused, again, to educate the kids, to get them inspired to be a part of the system.
Oh, that is wonderful. Is this something that you're going to be doing every year? Is it?
Yes,
annual?
every year. It's going to be an annual event.
Oh, I love that. I love that. I love that. It's so important for the kids to know and just keep that culture going.
Exactly.
They have a day off school, so why not do something that is, educational?
Right.
And to get that going. So what's next for you? What's next for Beverly Burks?
Well, I'm excited. We just elected as a council our Downtown Development Authority. So that is going to be one of our tools for economic driving within our community. I'm very excited about that. We just got $1 million grant for transportation. And so we're going to look at how we can make our city more walkable. Our city is a walkable community, but we have to make sure we have the infrastructure in place for our residents to be able to enjoy it.
Yeah.
We also got a $400,000 grant for public and other things for our residents to be able to enjoy the city.
Yes. There's nothing like walking. There's nothing like being outside, taking in nature. I love a city that has a lot of nature, not trails per se, but just places where you can walk. Just places where you can just get outside.
And that's so what we have. We're part of the Stone Mountain Path. And if many people don't know that Stone Mountain Path runs all the way from Stone Mountain to the city of Atlanta. It's about 19 miles. And about 15 of those miles are in DeKalb County through about 5 cities, and Clarkston is one of them. And we have Friendship Forest, where is a wildlife preserve. And so we're looking at other ways we can do that connection for our residents to be able to walk, and also in terms of tourism, to encourage people to be a part of that as well.
Yeah, no, definitely. I'm glad you said tourism, because I wasn't 100% familiar with Clarkston, but having just read about it, I was like, wow, it's right here in our doorstep. But it's a whole new city within itself. So that's what makes it amazing.
Exactly.
So where can we find more information about you, Beverly?
So for me, I am on Instagram.
Okay, great.
I am Mayor Beverly H. Burks, if you want to follow and
Yes.
see the journey. If from Mayor, I have a mayorbeverlyhburks.com website. And from the city's perspective, it's clarkstonga.gov. And so if you definitely want to find out what we're doing in terms of the city, by all means visit our website.
Yes.
If you want to connect with me, I would love that, because again, this is a journey. And with the
Yes,
journey, I love to include people as part of the journey, because as a community, we can move forward faster together.
Right,
And
exactly.
so I make sure I'm even doing mentoring with some of the women that I encounter and delegates from Africa. So,
Wow,
you know, I
nice.
have people from Africa and from the Caribbean who follow me and who I engage with, because they're a part of my community.
Yes,
So
yes.
whether I am in, even though Clarkston, I'm the mayor of Clarkston, it's my community. So I'll go to
Right.
Brookhaven whenever they invite me. If they're in Lawrenceville, I will go wherever, because I support my community by being there for my community.
Yes, exactly. And because you have so many diverse, you know, not just the Caribbean diaspora, but a lot
Right.
of diverse community. I love that. Is there anything else about yourself or about Clarkston that you'd like to share?
Well, Clarkston is very unique, and I just want others to enjoy the opportunity to see our community. Literally, you can walk within 2-3 blocks and go to 2 or 3 different continents.
Right.
Right, and so that's with the food, that's with the stores, and so it gives you an opportunity to see how people can have resilience. I think that's one of the greatest things about Clarkston, is that when you think about our city, our motto is where possibilities grow,
Yeah.
but it shows you what resilience looks like, where people who've come from communities where they've had to deal with war and other travesties
Right,
can
right.
find a place
Yeah.
like Clarkston to call
Absolutely.
home.
And I know that one of your mottos, your personal motto, and let me read this so I don't mess it up. Your personal motto is believe in what you do, avoid thinking of what you can't do, and have faith. I love
Exactly.
that.
Thank
That
you.
kind of just sums it all up.
It does, it does.
That is a personal motto. I love that. So you have it here, Beverly Burks, the mayor of the city of Clarkston, right here in Georgia. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you,
Thank you so
Cazzy,
much
for
for your
having me.
time. Oh, absolutely. And you've definitely got to come back. You
I
got to come back and see us.
will, I will. Thank you.
So there's going to be more. There's going to be more from CLTV Studios, guys. So thank you for joining us today.